Hey, that's Jay Glazer from Fox. He was on Any Given Wednesday this week. We talk football, but I don't know anybody who knows more about MMA than you. I had to talk MMA with you for like 3 minutes. Diaz McGregor.
Right.
I don't have the same MMA history that you have. It was the best fight I've ever seen in MMA. Where did that rank for you?
You know, it's definitely up there. And then for me also, I love to see guys, I love to see greatness. So the fight was great, but also we already knew that Nick and Nate Diaz, they're gangsters. And I don't mean gangsters like you think. I mean MMA gangsters. They're true mixed martial artists. They're always up for a fight. They're always well-rounded.
You got to take them out of the 2x4 to get them out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're incredibly talented. There's only a couple of times in your life, in your career, where you really get a chance to find out who you really are behind the ribcage. And Conor McGregor came across one of those instances. And here he is, third round. He's done, right? Goes over in the third round. He sits down. I don't know if you guys are able to see this at home, but he sat there and he shut his eyes. And I'm sitting up there with on our set with Brian Stan and Rashad Evans and Dominic Cruz, and we're all like, he's done, same as you, right? He's over. And about 10 seconds to go, man, he kind of opens his eyes, and you could see, like, he makes a decision. I love that, man. That thing gets me going. He makes a decision.
Like he made a life choice. I'm not going down like this.
He could have either just said, yeah, man, I'm done. Like, hey, I'll live to fight another day. Or he could have done what he did, which is he got up off the stool and he went back at Nate. And again, he now knows, moving forward, no matter whatever happens in the rest of his career, he knows who the hell he is inside and behind his ribcage. That's pretty inspiring when I see things like that. Love it.
Sometimes
it'll help him later on as a fighter too.
In boxing, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, where you have the one great fight. I think Sugar Ray Leonard had the Hearns fight, and he had the Hagler fight.
Right.
The Hearns fight was really more the one that he had to pull out, and he had to reach into the deep recesses of his soul to win. It doesn't happen that often anymore. And that's what I loved about McGregor. Like, Mayweather's his whole career is gonna pass, and he'll never be in a fight like that, where he had that moment, he's sitting on the bench. And it's like, what kind of choice do I have? And he doesn't want it. He wants to get out of boxing with the most brain cells anyone's ever had.
And it's also, retiring undefeated doesn't make you the greatest.
Right.
Going through these makes you the greatest. What made Ali, obviously, is coming back from those losses, right? And we're talking about that whole group too of Hagler, Hearns, Leonard, Duran, that whole group in there.
They always came back.
They always beat each other up, and they were able to find out who they are.
George Foreman. Who sank lower than that dude? He came back.
And when you get to find out who you are, make a decision.
Well, it's interesting in boxing, Tyson, when he hit that point, he never was able to come back.
Nope.
Like, it just broke him mentally.
Yep.
And I watch Ronda Rousey now, and some of the stuff she said, I'm like, wow, this might be it. Like, that fight might have broken her. I don't really see any signs of life that she's ready to become a bully again.
You know what? The thing about Ronda, look, fighters are sensitive.
Yeah.
Right? And it's kind of interesting you hear that, but me and my guys, man, we'll cry over anything. No one's questioning our manhood, so we can be more open and emotional. We talk about stuff that, like my sister would talk about.
Yeah, you're not picked apart on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
And for Ronda, she got to watch her own funeral. And what I mean by that's a very valuable lesson, but it's a crappy lesson to have a lot of times, because you really saw how many people threw you in the dirt, threw dirt on your grave, how many people cried at your funeral, how many people didn't, how many laughed when you were going in the ground. That's hard. When you're sensitive, to see so many people who threw dirt on your grave, that's hard to get over. And
I think in a weird way, it also happened to Tyson. Sometimes the bully gets flipped.
But sometimes they're like, okay, now I know who my group is.
Yeah.
No problem. I'm good now. Now I got everybody I know who threw everything over on top. I'm good. Now I got my little crew. And it's hard, I think, for people. So again, I can't walk in Ronda's shoes. Do I think she's over? No, I don't. I think she realized it and said, okay, I got other things going on. Fighting for a lot of people is you're a fighter, but it also opens up avenues you never dreamed you could go after, and good for her. She put her blood in there. She put her sweat in there. She should have these other avenues, which she's doing. But she does come back, and she's focused. Man, revenge is tough, dude. Don't mess with someone who just has revenge on their mind and they're focused on it.
I can't wait to see how she responds to it. It's going to be fascinating. Last thing, CM Punk, do we take this seriously?
Anybody who gets in there, I take seriously. I don't know. I haven't seen him train. And again, it's different. So when you go in there, the one thing that he doesn't have on the side is when you're such a big name, you don't get to have smokers. You don't have to get to go in and have these other little fights where the nerves. When you walk in there, man, it is a different set of nerves. Remember Johnny Morton fought, the old football player? I begged him not to. I'm like, Johnny, take little fights in little places. Nobody knows. Even set him up at the gym. Don't do it because he's like, oh, I ran out on the field at UFC. I don't care, dude. It's different. Different set of nerves, and you're all of a sudden like that. So it's just different, man. When you're in there in a cage, it's one thing to get in a fight with you and all of a sudden bar fight breaks out, you and I were going. It's another fight. Hey, man, I have the skills to kill you. I'm going to meet you at 10 o'clock in front of the whole world watching. 10 o'clock, 3 months from now, in a cage, we're locked in. See ya. You will start right away. Oh, man, maybe I'm busy that night.
I definitely would start shaking. I started shaking as you were saying that. All right, Jay Glazer, thank you.
See you, buddy.